Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. 2021 marks the 20th anniversary of the Affiliate Country Program. So I hope you have enjoyed the video which highlights the activities of the program and the accomplishments from the affiliate countries. I would like to welcome our delegates here in the room and the delegates attending remotely. We're very happy that you're all here with us today. And we have prepared a very exciting agenda for the Affiliate Forum. And without any further ado, I would like to give the floor to my colleague, Mr. Francois Oti, for his welcome remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Aristea. Good afternoon. Dear colleagues, again, welcome to this Affiliate Forum. For this year, we'll be talking or discussing about how to establish a NEC and attract power utilities and regulators in the NEC work. This topic will be introduced by our colleague, Eva Odor, and her presentation will be supported by case studies from Côte d'Ivoire, Uzbekistan, and Costa Rica. And then we'll have the discussions. But before, we'll receive Mistress Bastinger. She's the affiliate leader, for her report on the Affiliate Country Program. So, Mrs. Bastinger, if you hear us and you are ready, please move on for your presentation.
Thank you, Francois, for introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear affiliates around the world, dear affiliate delegates. I've reached almost my fourth year as the IEC affiliate leader, and I'm pleased to provide you an update on the activities of the Affiliate Country Program since the last general meeting held virtually in Geneva, Switzerland in 2020. Next slide, please. Despite the second year of the world pandemic crisis, Affiliated continued to move forward with great results. I wish to congratulate Eritrea that have taken the difficult step to set up National Electrotechnical Committee, and Papua New Guinea for having declared the very first national adoptions. I'm also happy to report that Bolivia, Congo, and Eritrea have upgraded to Affiliate Plus. Therefore, they are benefiting from the double amount of free standards for national adoption and priority to get a mentor. Two affiliate countries have partnered with their respective mentor, Cambodia with Australia and Dominican Republic with Brazil. We wish both partnerships great success in achieving their objectives in due time. This year is a unique one, as the Affiliate Country Program is celebrating its 20th anniversary. To commemorate this special year, the IEC Secretariat has conducted a survey to understand how the Affiliate Country Program has empowered the affiliates to gain technical expertise in terms of international standardization and conformity assessment. To seek feedback on the utilization of the program benefits and to access the needs on training and capacity building activities. As the affiliate leader, I had the opportunity to represent the affiliates' voice in SDGs through the IEC Council Board Task Force 3. The above-mentioned service results were shared during its first meeting this year, alongside with prospects and raising awareness, training opportunities, promoting the use of renewable energies, and supporting conformity assessment implementation in view of providing more SDG-focused work. The IEC Affiliate Secretariat took the opportunity to revamp the procedures of the Affiliate Conformity Assessment Status, ACA status, which will be introduced in the coming slides. Working closely with the IEC Academy gave the affiliate countries more tools to learn and refine their knowledge on the IEC standardization and conformity assessment activities through online courses. Still under ACA, in collaboration with IEC Academy and the respective conformity assessment systems, the Affiliate Secretariat has organized 2 ACA events. In order to align all these new projects and to give more practical information to the affiliate community, we are pleased to share with you the new Affiliate Country Program website. Please, next slide. I would like to share with you the highlights of the Affiliate Country Program survey results. 63% of the affiliate countries from all regions participated to the survey, and we would like to thank you for that. We found that the government authorities, academic and research institutions, and industry are most represented in the affiliate next. The biggest challenges are the lack of stakeholders representation. We are pleased to know that majority is aware of the information related to the affiliate country program on our website and are using it. With the new affiliate country program web pages, we strongly encourage you to visit our website. As the IEC contributes to all of the 17 SDGs, we were curious to see where the affiliate countries stand regarding them. Few affiliates are in advanced stages of implementation of the SDGs, which has strong interest in the affordable and clean energy SDG 7. 57 of the affiliate countries has set up mirror technical committees. The priorities for the affiliates are to adopt IEC international standards, learning more about conformity assessment, and networking and participating more events and webinars. Following the strong interest in SDG 7, the affiliates' main attractions are clean energy, energy management, and clear energy. Last but not least, affiliates are very interested in acceptance of IEC conformity assessment certificates and reports, but are still struggling with it and are requesting for guidance. Next slide, please. As you all most probably know, the former ACAS, affiliate country assessment status, was created in 2013. This status offered countries benefits in all IEC conformity assessment systems with the objective to train affiliate countries to use IEC international standard and benefit from IEC conformity assessment systems through the recognition of IEC conformity assessment certificates. After 8 years of its creation, the IEC Affiliate Secretariat decided to review the procedure and adapt the current needs of the affiliate countries. This proposal was circulated to the CAP members and acknowledged at the CAP meeting on June. The goal of this revision was to aim less bureaucracy and more access to information through awareness ACA events. Next slide, please. With the ACA new procedure, the engagement of the affiliate countries are through a two-stage process. On one side, the ACA prelude as a learning stage. The affiliate countries nominated participants are encouraged to acquire knowledge about the IEC conformity assessment system. This means that all affiliate countries can nominate the ACA participants and have access to all IEC conformity assessment online modules. On the other side, the ACA status is an implementation stage. The affiliate countries are encouraged to implement the deliverable certificates of the IEC conformity assessment systems. Next slide, please. Okay. Okay. Before the COVID pandemic, ACA events were held back to back with regional events. Since 2021, and with the travel restriction policy, IEC has adapted to have ACA events a remote format. In collaboration with the IEC Academy, this format gave opportunity to all affiliate countries to be gathered at the same event without travel restrictions of the regional barriers. The first event held in May 2021 was on the IEC X certificate schemes, and the second event held in September 2021 was IEC RE Solar PV Energy Scheme. Both workshops had a very good feedback from the attendees, having met the expectations. We encourage you to watch the recordings and attend next year's workshops. Next slide, please. We have other news to share under the ACA. The new IEC EE online course is available on the IEC Academy platform as 19th July 2021. The content has been reviewed and adapted into more interactive layout. Upon the IEC EE Executive Secretary's suggestion, the IEC Academy has created a module on the introduction to IEC conformity assessment systems, which is also available on the IEC Academy platform and recommended to all your users to go through before the actual conformity assessment systems courses. The remaining IEC conformity assessment systems online modules are currently on the affiliate country programs section of the IEC website, and they will be transferred to the IEC Academy platform progressively. This will be communicated to the affiliate community in due time. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the IEC Academy for their strong support for the affiliate community. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Oh, back one slide back, please. Oh, sorry. We are pleased to show your new affiliate country program web pages with some rearranged information menu. We hope you will enjoy the navigation and find all the answers to your questions related to our program. Next slide, please. I'm pleased to also, please next slide. Yeah, I'm pleased to be part of the affiliate team as the affiliate leader since 2021. You might all know Aristi, head of affiliate country program, Siyan, affiliate project coordinator, and Karina Lepes, affiliate administrative assistance. Please, next slide. We have seen an increase of affiliate countries benefiting from the program for this. The affiliate team is always ready to hear your needs and make changes to meet them. We will keep raising awareness and give tools and information through the webinars and the online courses. We strongly encourage you to have an active participation in the ACA online courses to enlarge your knowledge on the IEC conformity assessment systems and benefits. It benefits your country will gain from this program. Please do not hesitate to order your free IEC international standards in order to adopt them nationally. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you that IEC affiliate countries are not members. Therefore, it's forbidden to sell any IEC international standards. It is important. It's important to remember also the right for your country to comment at early stage of IEC working documents, committee draft and committee draft for vote stage. Therefore, I strongly encourage you to use them as IEC needs your comments to make standards very international standards. I would like to encourage you to join the meetings and discussions organized at the regional level by the IEC regional directors to have the opportunity to network with other affiliate countries and exchange views and best practices. I would like to thank the regional directors for their strong support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our affiliate country program for her report and the result we achieve together. Now we go to the second presentation with Eva on how to establish and attract power utilities and the regulators in the NC work. Eva, you can move on, please.
Thank you, Francois, for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. As Francois has said, I will be presenting on how to establish a NEC and attract utilities and regulators in the network. Next slide, please. So the National Electrotechnical Committee, a body fully representing private, public, national interest in the field of electrotechnology, in standardization and conformity assessment. So I think we need to keep that in mind, not just standardization, but also conformity assessment. Next slide, please. So when we are thinking about a NEC, we think about the current potential future users of electrotechnical standards from manufacturing to emerging industries. But in our case, I've listed a number of them there, but we will be dealing specifically with power utilities and regulatory bodies. Next slide. Next slide. So we'll talk about how to establish a NEC. I think the important thing is to identify your stakeholders by category and then to define the objective of each category. I think that sometimes we have we call people, but what are they supposed to do? You know, are they all at the same level? Do we require the same thing from all of them? I don't think so. I think each category has a specific need. The power utility has a different need probably from the regulatory. So it's good to define them by their category and then communicate with the representatives that you have. Communicate with them, and they should also communicate back to you that they have accepted what the communication you have given. And then when you have established the NEC, you can appoint or elect officers depending on how you do it in your country. And you need to have like an update of the responsibility. You know, if I come to a meeting and I don't have responsibility, I can choose to come or not to come. And when you give people responsibilities, it makes a difference. Next slide, please. So we will talk first about the power utility, and then after that, the regulators. So when we talk about the power utility, can we have the next slide? What is the concern of a power utility? When you think about a power utility, it's an electric power industry that engages in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity sale. So you have to think about what would this person need in the area of standardization or conformity assessment when you want to engage them. Next slide, please. So the IEC has many technical committees that prepare the standards that are needed for the safe and efficient generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. So here you can already see the concern: overhead lines, cables, electrical conductors, insulators, power transformers. And these standards, they also help the utilities to roll out energy efficient technologies from high efficiency transformers to more energy efficient conductors. And these, they also pave the way for digitalization and automation of electrical grid. So this shows that there is an interest for the power utilities to engage in the standardization work of the IEC and of course of your NEC. Next slide, please. So all of these standards, they serve as the basis for testing, certification of components, devices, systems to verification, whether a product or a device is built to the requirements contained in the IEC standards. If you remember at the beginning, I said, think about the two, the standards and the conformity assessment. Yeah, so there is the standards which inform you, and there is also the conformity assessment side. Next slide, please. So what do we need to think about? You know, once you know what these requirements are, establish a strong partnership with utilities. You know, you can't sit there and say that I've written to the utilities, I hope they will come. You have to establish a strong partnership with them. And then you have to, you know, find out what are these technologies which you can offer to that will attract the utilities to be part of your NEC. And then you have to provide maybe some strategic advice on actually the utilities, probably the ones who provide the strategic advice on policy developments within on what they're doing, and then you can advise on the policy developments within international and regional standards organization. And then you engage. You know, engagement means talking. Engagement means finding out what both of you need, you know. Just think about when someone is engaging a girl, you know, a future wife. You don't go and say, I want to marry you, full stop. There's a lot of work which goes on here before that. So you have to think about engaging, you know, and what is it you have to offer? Maybe for the bride, you give them a ring, you know. What about the utility? What is this you have to offer? Which ring is this you want to give them that will attract them to be part of your NEC? Yeah. Next slide, please. And this is active, you know. When you're pursuing something, you pursue it. You don't today you're there, tomorrow you're cold. No, you do it actively. until you find a place where you're agreeing with each other. And then in that way, we'll also look out for other things that the utility have. Maybe they have experts who can participate in your technical work. And then we will also present the benefits that there is for both. You will see, they will see the benefits that the NEC is providing for them and how the NEC is supporting, and also the NEC will benefit to have them as part of the organization. And then you keep them informed. Imagine if you call your girlfriend once a month. That's, that's a recipe for maybe losing that. Of course, you are not going to call the utility once a month, but I'm just using that as an analogy. You have to keep them informed. You have to give them the relevant information so that they know they want to be part of your system. So next slide, please. Now that was about the utilities. Now I'll talk about the regulators. What would be the concern of the regulators in your country, anywhere? The regulators, they are concerned about, or they say they are concerned about the health of the citizens of the country. They're concerned about safety. They're concerned about protection of the environment. They're concerned about, maybe some market distortion issues. And this is how you have to approach them. So already you can see that this one is not going to be approached the same way you approach the utility, because their concern is a little different. And that's what you need to know. Next slide, please. So standards provide the technical framework, the metrics and specifications that regulator can reference in legislation. So basically, we're telling the regulator, there's something you're doing here, but I can make it easier for you, and I can make you do it better. And you see, I don't have to do everything. You also have to get some, you also have to participate. So by incorporating standards and conformity assessment in their regulation, regulators can then leverage a common platform that will allow them to do their work well, adhering and making sure that people adhere to safety, health, performances, things that are protecting you. That's really what the regulator is about. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. I think we can go to the next one. Yeah. So again, with the regulator, you establish a strong relationship. And what you need to think about pinpointing is that what are the developing technologies so standardization can offer effective and efficient tools for regulator. For example, if you think about the IC conformity assessment systems and what it provides for you, does the regulator need to do a second test or a third test when a first test has already been done? So, what is this? Is this going to add value or is it going to add cost? Those are some of the things that you need to think about how you bring them out to the regulator. I can make this, by you being involved in this, your work will be easier. There will even be cost reduction in what you do. And then you need to, again, provide strategic advice on policy developments, in referencing of standards in conformity assessment systems. I know that in some of our countries, this is part of the problem, that the regulator is doing things but doesn't know that there's another way of doing it that will make it easier for them. And I think this is something that you really need to think about in engaging the regulators in the work. Next slide, please. So again, you will then actively engage. And then here, I think that there's a way in which you can provide training and use of standards and conformity assessment, because legislators may not be the people who know how to do these things well, but you just show them what they need to do, and they'll probably also tell you what their problems are, and together you can come up with a system that works for them. And again, they need to know what the benefits are for them. And I think there's a lot, if you go and sit down with yourself, you get to, these are things you have to think about. basically in your communicating, you must be able to say, to tell somebody what the benefits are for them to be part of the NEC. So the next slide, please. Maybe this is my last slide. So what do we take away? When you're establishing a NEC, make sure that you have all your stakeholders on board. And maybe something which I didn't say earlier, sometimes you might find that their interests may look as if they're conflicting, but you have to find a way to manage them so that they can work together well. And so specifically for the power utilities and regulators, especially for some of our regions where electricity access is at the top of the line in what we are doing, I think it's important to think that to bring them on board to your NEC so that they can be part of what is happening. So there is a necessity to attract and then sustain, and just keep that communication going. So that there ends my presentation, and thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you, Eva. You agree with me that we learn from this presentation that we learn how to engage or to be engaged with utilities and regulators. But still it is like recommendations or rules. So now we are going to some case studies where people have really applied maybe these rules. And we start with Côte d'Ivoire. The case studies from Côte d'Ivoire will be given to us by Mr. Kader Sissé. Kader Sissé is the head of standardization service at Côte d'Ivoire Energy. And he's member of the Côte d'Ivoire National Committee. So now, Kader, you have the floor for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. I will start by saying, every country has should have its own way to do things in order to be able to move from the status of affiliate to associate member. Regarding Côte d'Ivoire, we started relatively early. In 2003, we were already affiliate member for the IEC. And it took us until 2018, which is 15 years roughly, to become associate member. So this is to present a brief picture of the situation, how we transition from affiliate to associate. As for the country itself, Côte d'Ivoire is a small country in West Africa. We have an economy based on agriculture. We produce 40% of the world supply of cocoa. So there's a good chance if you drink our chocolate this week that 40% chance that this chocolate comes from Côte d'Ivoire. And we are eager to modernize our economy, to move from agriculture to industry. So these are all reasons which made us very early move towards standardization in terms of quality, in order to get quality and good activities in terms of transformation. So we have roughly 23 million people. So this is a representation of Côte d'Ivoire. Our National Electricity Committee, as I said earlier, was created in 1993. We were then only observatory for the country. The president of the NEC is held by the National Electricity Company, which is called Côte d'Ivoire Energy. I work myself for this company. And the Secretariat of our National Electrotechnical Committee is held by CODINOM, which is our public utility in charge of coordinating and managing activities around the standards and norms. So this is a brief overview of what we've been doing so far in terms of adoption of norms, in terms of activities. We have adopted around 600 IEC standards, and we are also a member of the conformity assessment system for electrotechnical component and system. And we have an active participation in all electrotechnical related activities with the IEC. We try our best to be present, to follow the activities, to get advice, and to keep the contact and the connection with the IEC and its activities. We are also a member of the Young Professional Program, of course, for the IEC. So in terms of strategy or vision, I should say that regarding Côte d'Ivoire, the first thing to our understanding was to establish a vision, to have a strong leadership, and to define the vision. I think that was the most important part. If you have good leaders that very early know where and how to implement the strategy, that is very helpful. So we were very blessed, so to speak, with a leadership that was really strongly involved. And the second axis was actually to define the strategic vision. So we had 4 chapters in our strategic vision to implement our membership as an associate member of the IEC. We work on the technical animation of our technical committees. We worked on communication. We worked on international relations, and we also worked on financial autonomy. So as far as the vision is concerned, as I said, to gain international presence, you have to adopt international standards. And you have to adapt it to the national specificities. So, and also you have to enforce them. So this is all activities that we try to implement in the time that we worked from affiliate to associate member. And also, as I said earlier, we try to actively participate in all activities in the technical committees in order to promote the use and the development of electrotechnical standards and promote at the national level the international conformity assessment systems. So how we did that actually was to involve very early the key decision makers. We tried to have the CEO of the industry companies, the CEO, the manager of the electrical entities involved very early, because they are the one who can make things change. They are the one who can make things move. And we try to also have the academia on board, I mean, the universities and research institution, etc. As far as the power utilities and regulators are concerned, we had the chance to have the power sector as a founding entity of our national committee. So they were very early involved and very early interested in the work of the IEC and the national committee. Also, we worked on putting forward the benefits of quality equipment in terms of reliability and in terms of efficiency of the product electricity for the national grid. And as I said earlier, we actively enroll power utility decision makers in the meetings and in the first works of our national committee. As far as the regulators are concerned, as we all know, one of the key missions is to enforce the respect of technical requirements for utilities and stakeholders. So this is clearly a combination of interests. So they were also interested in our activities regarding this aspect. The challenge, as for our national committee, is the evolution of the norms, the standards. We have to follow, we have to catch up, we have to stay close to the evolution on the international market. And this is not always easy, but we try our best to be present. So clearly, there are benefits from being member for having a national committee member of the International, Electrotechnical Commission. It is some sort of guarantee of development and progress for the world system. So in order to maintain engagement and will to conduct activities to instill a spirit of studiousness and also to motivate for the world system and the implication of young professionals in the activities. So this is briefly presented our strategy and how we did it. So leadership first, second, involvement in all activities for decision makers, and participation of all activities of IEC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kader, for this presentation. As you have seen, Côte d'Ivoire is, of course, a national committee, but before they upgraded to national committee, there were affiliates, and from there, they have established the NEC, which later become the national committee. Thank you so much. We move now with another case study from Uzbekistan, and it will be done by Mr. Abdullah Korifboev, who is the head of International Cooperation Department of the Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation. You have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, dear excellencies, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. This is the first time we are participating in such kind of IEC meetings, and by my colleagues, I understand we have to learn a lot of things to implement such kind of platform in our country. On behalf of Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation, let me first express my deep appreciation of being invited to this honorable FOA forum. It is also mentioned by our colleagues that there is no doubt that today, to develop national core infrastructure, we need technical regulation, international standards, and a good conformity assessment systems. At this point, we would like to work closely with the IEC, ISO, and other international organizations. If we go into how we established Uzbekistan National Electrotechnical Committee, 2015, we joined it to the IEC affiliate country program, gained access to 200 IEC international standards at the free of charge, and we have received assistance to set up a NEC and engage with the stakeholders. 2019, we obtained affiliate class status, declared the adaptation of 69 IEC standards as a national standard. We have gained access to extra 200 IEC international standards free of charge. And we have established a NEC with the representatives from the private and the public sectors. Received mentoring and training opportunities, adopted of 400 IEC international standards as a national standard. Our NEC role, sustainability and activities. Uzbekistan National Electrotechnical Committee serves as a Uzbekistan point of contact for industry, government, consumers, academia, and other stakeholders in the electrotechnical industry. Represents Uzbekistan interests before the IEC and a selected international electrotechnical fora. Provides guidance on policy issues and procedures involving the electrotechnical industry. Promotes active engagement between domestic and international standards organizations to encourage cooperation as needed. There might be a question, who are the Uzbekistan National Electrotechnical Committee members? The broad-based UNEC, Uzbekistan National Electrotechnical Committee, represents the stakeholders in the Uzbekistan electrotechnical community. The first, Electrotechnical Industry Association. This is a private association, more than 100 private companies, which is based on producing electrotechnical producers. They're the member association. There's academia. There's 5 universities, which is going. They become member of our committee. There's consumers' interests, government agencies like Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation, Ministry of Energy, There are professional societies, testing organizations, and trade associations. As I mentioned before, now we have adopted IC 400 standards. If you check the statistic that production capacity of electrotechnical sector today, because of reforms, is $1.4 billion US. GDP percentage is at 2.2%. Export is going to be $500 million US. It grows 1.5%. And investments is going to be $142 million US. And this year we're expecting to adopt more than 700 IC standards. And there is a new transformations and challenges in our country, institutional and market reforms. Recently, we have established an Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation. We have established a Ministry of Energy, Uz-Elta-Sanat, Association, Uz-Atom Agency. We have a public-private partnership at the moment in our country, which is a public-private partnership law adopted in May 2019, and we have established a public-private partnership agency as well. Renewable energy development. Renewable energy law adopted in May 2019. The first private photovoltaic 100 megawatt capacity plant was being launched in the Karamana district of Novy province. Corporate governance is the Uzbek Energy IFRS basic financial statements issued. Regional trade, improving regional connectivity and trade, connecting to Central Asia power system, export, import with the neighboring countries. If we check Uzbekistan power sector, full sources, today Uzbekistan plays in the world for natural gas, Uzbekistan plays in the world 24th, and uranium 16th, coal 29th. And Uzbekistan is a place in the world production of natural gas is 13th, uranium 7th, and coal 34th. There is a lot of benefits having engaged stakeholders growing in Uzbekistan. Today, the demand for electricity is 69 billion kilowatts. The country produces a total 64 billion kilowatts. So according to the experts, by 2030, the demand for electricity will almost double and will amount 170 billion kilowatts. Renewable energy is one of the main sources for Uzbekistan. The main components of renewable energy sources in Uzbekistan are solar, hydraulic, wind, and geothermal energy, as well as the biomass energy. According to the results of research carried out by Uzbek scientists, the technical potential of renewable energy sources in Uzbekistan is 270 million tons of reference fuel, which is more than three times the annual need for energy sources. This is what I want to share with you. This is, as I mentioned before, first time our attendance to the IC meeting. There are other things we have to do. And we would like to now, we also applied for to be associate member of IEC. I hope by the end of this year, we will be associate member and we will help our private and government sector companies to implement IEC standards. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for these presentations about how Uzbekistan has established a NEC. Now we'll have the presentation from Costa Rica. The case study from Costa Rica is given by Mr. George Vargas, who is the standardization manager. And so now he's joining remotely, so he is not in the room, but still he will make his presentation. So Mr. Vargas, you have the floor, or do you have, you can talk, move on.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you hear me? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I would like to say hello from Costa Rica. It's early morning, very, very early morning. And In behalf of the National Electrical Committee of Costa Rica, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity. My name is Jorge Vargas, and I am the president of the NEC of Costa Rica since 2014. Next slide, please. Our committee was born in the 2000 year. Since beginning, it has been integrated by a group of experts coming from several sectors, like in the same manner that the other committees. We have people from consumers, gremials, from manufacturers, from academia, from government, from utilities, and from the National Standardization Body, that's his name, INTECO, in Costa Rica. Today, our committee is working with a IEC Mirror Committee, 12 committees, and 2 working groups. Next slide, please. Our main role is focused in the definition of what electrical standards are the priority for the country. We work very close with the government authorities in order to define what are these priorities. Our approving processes and other decisions that we made, in the committee are making by consensus, looking for the electrical safety of the Costa Rica inhabitants, because we have working during the many years in the in looking for the enhance the electrical safety of the installations. Please, next slide. Okay, the successful of this committee during more than 20 years is focused in a balanced composition of stakeholders because we have people from many sectors, and we have a very committed participation in this committee, and the understanding the importance from the national interest for the country. We develop standards to assure safety electrical installations using safe electrical products. This is very interesting for us. Right now, the manufacturers in Costa Rica are not producing in the country. It's really no is for that. And we need to control what is the products that we are entering to the country. Our approving processes are made with decisions looking for that. Today, the committee has adopted more than 200 standards with IEC correspondence. And some of them has been included in official regulations. And also, we have developed some standards based in UL, IEEE, and other standards like ANSI from Mexico, because we don't have technical laboratories in Costa Rica that can test the products. Next slide, please. The question right now in this committee is how to we have to attract the power utilities representatives. Okay, in Costa Rica, we have an advantage is that the most important utilities are public companies. And they have been always interested to participate in the committee, defining the most convenient standards for the sector. The participation of these companies in the committee permits them to access to the standard, to access to the regulations, to have close what of those standards could become unofficial regulation. An example, we have an active participation of the most important utility in Costa Rica. Is a public company. Right now, we have a boom with the photovoltaic systems here in Costa Rica, and we will need to regulate some of these activities because the utilities are very careful with the connecting this kind of products or this kind of systems to the grid. Right now, we have access to standards through the committee, IEC, UL, ANSI, and other, and this is very attractive for the power utilities. Our country is very influenced and strongly influenced by the United States standards, and it represents a myth of the IEC standards, and this is the most important challenge, because in our country we receive products from many markets. Some products are under IEC standards, and the most of them are under UL standards from the United States. And we have right now some myths and realities about the use of IEC standards. Many people consider that IEC standards are only European standards and not international standards. And the other challenge that we have is to reach the understanding of the conformity assessment models under IEC schemes are it has a validity around the world. It is a challenge that we have, and this is important to have clear in the committee and in the country. Next slide. Okay, as I have told you, our participants are very committed with the committee work. This has permitted to us to have easily agreed processes for adopting some standards, maybe from US standards or IEC or international standards. We have had a more credible work because in the first in the first time we have a very balanced committee, and this is very important for us to comply with the work plans in interesting to have a good time. This is my presentation. This is a very quick presentation, and I would like to say thank you to the affiliate country programs from IEC, and thank you very much for this opportunity, and have you a good day.
Thank you very much for this presentation. We are now at the end of the different presentations. So we move for the discussions. Of course, for the discussion, we want to say that we can ask also questions. When I talk about discussion, we have the discussion about the topic, but we have also the discussion about the report of the affiliate leader. So you can ask questions on these two parts of the presentations. You can also make some contributions because you know that in the room, we have national electoral committees, you have your own experience on how you have put in place your national committee and how you have attracted the utilities and the regulators. But concretely, what we'll do is that for those in the room, you have to show, if you want to ask a question, you just present your nameplate. And for the one on remote, you have to raise the hand. As you know, so you raise the hand remotely so that we can see your hand and give you the time to talk. And it's the same here in the room. So now the discussion is open. Can I see hands up to start? Okay. Which country? Tanzania. Okay, we have Tanzania.
Yeah.
You record anyone else? Senegal, two from Senegal. You record there, please. Who else? Senegal again, three Senegal. It's okay. Good. So maybe we go with the 4 person now. I want to repeat for those joining remotely, please raise your hand if you have a question, and then our contribution will give you the time to speak. So let's go with Tanzania.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the good presentations. So I have just two questions. One is from the affiliate report. Of course, affiliate leader mentioned about the changes of procedure from the ACAS. So I just want to know what is the main difference from the previous one and the one which is new in terms of the implementation and the become the ACAS actually the two difference. Again, the second question, I'll post it to all the case studies from Cote d'Ivoire, Costa Rica, and Uzbekistan. Of course, they mentioned everything is okay, but I just want to know where do they get funds to operate their NECs, and how do they operate? Are they under the umbrella of the government, or they're just the private committees? Thank you.
Thank you. I feel maybe we can take the questions and go for the answer because we are different speakers so that if they have the mic, they can talk about all the questions addressed to them. So let's go with, the CEO of the Senegal MSB.
Thank you, Mr. Auti. First of all, I would like to thank the IEC and the UAE NEC for the organization of this general meeting, and congratulate our presenters here. So my question would go to primarily to Cote d'Ivoire, but also if we could gain some insight from the IEC officers here present here, I think that would be helpful. as you know, Senegal is currently an affiliate member. And we are targeting to become associate member. So my question is, from your perspective, what should be today the drivers for a country like Senegal to move from affiliate member to associate member? Because we need to convince our stakeholders, but also our political hierarchy to support us going from affiliate to associate, because as you know, there are requirements, high requirements for becoming an associate member. So what could you give me today so that back to my country, I can give it to our stakeholders and authorities so that they support our neck to move from affiliate to associate. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. I will continue to live or to stay in Senegal with the president of the NEC of Senegal. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Francois. Thank you, everybody. I have two questions. The first one is regarding to American standard. Is there any conflict between American standard and IC standard? What is a relationship? The second question is addressed to Mr. George from Costa Rica. Why people prefer use American standard instead of IC standard? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Still in Senegal with the Secretary of the National Electoral Technical Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to attend this IEC General Assembly meeting in Dubai. And I had a question, but the question is already asked by the NSB CEO. So I pass from this question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I cannot see hands online. You confirm? Okay, thank you. So I want also to say that, of course, the CEO of ISN has mentioned it. You have also IC officers in the room. You can also add in terms of the answers when necessary. So now I'm who want to take the first question is for the affiliate leader. So if she's online, affiliate leader.
Yeah.
Okay, can you respond to the question about the ACA? What is the main difference between what was on before?
New ACA is less bureaucracy and more access to information through awareness raising ACA events. Less bureaucracy. Former ACAS, affiliate ACAS, was offered affiliate countries benefits to all IEC conformity assessment systems, to train countries to use affiliate IEC standards, benefit from IEC conformity assessment systems through recognition of IEC conformity assessment certificate. Now this ACA is there no form. We don't need to fill out forms as we did it during the ACAS. Also, in ACA covers IEC conformity assessment online modules available to all affiliate audience. Also, tests remain at level 1 and level 2 the same. Specification of IEC conformity assessment involvement per affiliate country is recognition of achievement certificate. After recognition of the achievement certificate, you can make online courses available at any time and strengthen knowledge. In the implementation stage ACA status, there are no form. Also, previously we signed the form about the we starting the ACAS. Now we don't have to sign the form. National adoption of at least one IEC international standard under the scope of at least one IEC is at least one IEC conformity assessment system. Also, we need to declare our acceptance of certificates as previous and report issued at least one IEC conformity assessment system in national level. We don't need to sign twice forms as we did in previous. Thank you.
Thank you, Aristia, for.
Yeah, thank you, Francois, and thanks for the question. I think Batsengel has summarized very well what the affiliate conformity assessment new procedure states. So it's simpler. That's the main difference with the previous procedure. And we believe that training and education should be open to all. So without any additional forms to be signed, I'd like to encourage everyone here in the room and also our remote delegates to visit the website, find out and take more information, and also take the training courses as part of the affiliate conformity assessment, which are now hosted on the IEC Academy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a question. Yeah, online, we'll take it and we continue. Chris, can you ask your question, please? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Not necessarily a question, but just to support the recent remarks. But before I do, I just would like to congratulate the affiliate program on reaching the 20 years of operation, but also a special congratulation to all those involved over those years for the excellent achievements that have been made. So congratulations to all. I would like to just also commend the new ACAC initiatives and assure the meeting that these new initiatives have the full support of the IEC conformity assessment systems and our community. And some of the key benefits have already been mentioned, but just to support those benefits, those that are committing to the ACAC initiatives from the conformity assessment side, as mentioned, you have access to information, but also support in capacity building events and training sessions. But also there's another element that occasionally we are asked to assist, and that is with countries that may wish to utilize the certificates and the reports from our conformity assessment systems, and they are seeking support on how these can be used within regulations. And it is in that regard that the conformity assessment systems would certainly be more than willing to assist individual countries to show them how the certificates and reports can be utilized within their own regulatory forums and regulations. So if you do have some assistance, please, requirements for assistance, please feel free through the program to reach out to the conformity assessment systems, as we're here to help, and we see you guys as important customers of our deliverables on the CA side. Thank you.
Yes, so we want to say thank you to Chris. For those who don't know Chris is the Executive Secretary of the ICEX and the ICCQ. And he's based in Australia, and we are really honored to have him joining this affiliate country program forum. Thank you so much. Before we go to Trump, I see that he raised his hand. We'll give the opportunity for the presenters here to give some answers. So you see that there is a general question about how you operate and the funds you have. So it is for the three of you. Please feel free to take the floor, please.
Okay, thank you, Francois. As I said earlier during my presentation, I think the key element for me here is in terms of drivers. I think that's a question from Senegal. What is the driver what can I bring back to my decision makers in terms of drivers to make them move towards taking full involvement in becoming associate member. I think the key element here is, as I said earlier, the leadership. And for me, it's had to be a vision, has to be implemented and also clearly defined. Where do we want to go and how do we move forward? As we all know, Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire, we are similar in terms of our economy is agriculture based. We are the same, more or less the same issues in terms of transformation. And if you talk about transformation, you talk about industrialization, you talk about quality, you talk about standards. So these are things that could be easily put on the table. And also one key thing is, I think, to involve very early the national electricity companies, as we have done here in Cote d'Ivoire. The leaders of our movement toward the IEC were the one who were firstly interested in having quality equipment. As you know, we have to develop our grid, our extension, develop access to electricity for our population. So all those questions or issues have to be done within some really rigid and quality framework. And this is what IEC actually offers us in terms of owning the standards and having them implement in our countries. So this is what I could say for myself.
Thank you. Thank you for your question about funds of NEC. Uzbekistan now is our national NEC is supported by government and by private sector as well. For example, today, now there's reforms. For example, if the company implements international standards and wants to get international certificate, till $20,000 will be paid by the government. So because of the new process, because of this new project, today our NEC fully supported by government. Thank you.
Our friend from Costa Rica, is he still with us? Mr. Vargas.
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a question about how you operate, but also a question about your preference for ASTM or American standards versus IC standards. So can you have your reply, your answer about it?
Yes. Okay. First, we are located in a zone where we have a very strong influence from the United States standards, because some of the people and the professionals that studied in Costa Rica have the school from the United States. The other thing that we have is that our electrical systems is compatible 100% with the United States system, electrical system, and it's very easy for us to access to products from the United States. Also, we have the products from Europe, products from China, products from United States, from Brazil, coming to the country, but the electrical system is only one. And we have been to adopt the product or the products, for example, the manufacturers that have products on the IC standards need to adopt, for example, outlet sockets to the American style. And it's very complicated to us to have certificates on their IC standards, for example, in some products. And it's easily to do with American standards. We are working, or we are living together two standards in Costa Rica. And in some cases, the committee needs to analyze the two standards. And in some cases, we will do a double standard, one standard for IEC products and one standard for American products. That is the same problem that Mexico, for example, have had during the existence of the committees, but is the reality of the zone that we are living. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the answer. We before we continue, because I see that here we have a question about how to move from affiliate to associate. I think that a question which can be we can have the answer with the IC officers here. But so I want to go to online to see with Mr. Trump, who is the affiliate IC ambassador for the affiliate conformity assessments. Mr. Ambassador, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much. Well, in line with what Chris just said, you know, Chris Argis, the secretary, the executive secretary for ICX and ICQ, in line with what he said, in my role as IC ambassador for the training of affiliates in CA systems, I am also available to assist individual countries in how to take advantage of these international certificates. And it's actually easier than one may think. So I'm just wanting to point out that I'm also available for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go for the questions about, of course, maybe, I don't know if Cote d'Ivoire has already responded about how to move, but Aristean or someone else in the, yeah, okay, Aristean.
Thank you for the question. Just to say that personally, I would like Senegal to stay within the affiliate country program. Obviously, you've been part of the program and for so many years, and a leader in the region with the implementation and how you benefit from the program itself. So my advice to you, to Senegal, and to any other country that considers upgrading their participation from being an affiliate to an associate or full member would be to make first the most out of your participation of the program. That's why the program was created in the first place 20 years ago, to raise awareness to developing countries about standardization, about conformity assessment. And in Senegal, you've been doing a great job. So there is a lot a country can do to find out more how to be active in standardization, establish mirror committees, make sure that you have all the information on working documents. And then on the conformity assessment side, we talked a lot already about the affiliate conformity assessment process, and my colleagues have offered their strong support there. Now, what is there for you if you want to upgrade as a member? Obviously, it's not a type of participation anymore. You will still be member of the IC family, but in another setting. So I would probably ask back the question to you, because I think it depends a lot on your priorities, on your strategy in the national level. Where do you see standardization and conformity assessment in Senegal going in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you want to go? You've started very well with the establishment of the NEC, which I think is fantastic. And this is the primary, let's say, scope for you to then have a successful national committee. So moving from National Electrotechnical Committee to National Committee, have the right stakeholders, have the right people on the table, in order then to be not a passive, but an active member within IEC. So I think Francois will agree with me and Eva, because as regional directors in Africa, they've been following your work for many years, so they know the profile of each country much better than I do. I think you will agree with me. Maybe Eva would like to say a few words, or Francois, so thank you.
Okay, Eva will say a few words. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that the affiliate country program provides a good platform and a good place for you to learn about the IC and what it does, without having to commit yourself to pay when you don't know what is happening. Having said that, when you have learned how to comment as an affiliate and how to participate in meetings and how to use the conformity assessment systems, then I would say then you're ready. And as she said, it depends on your priority. But before you learn to do that, you might find yourself in a situation where you're paying for membership, but you're not using it properly. So I think when you feel like you have, if I may put it this way, you have outgrown the affiliate country program, you have used it, and it's now you need to go to the next level. Then you do that, and that you will know by how you're participating, what you're getting from it, whether you have mirror committees that can make comments. In the 10 committees that you have where you can make comments, are you using them? If you're not using them at all, then maybe you need to think about that. So if you put that in order, then you're ready. At that point, it's up to you. Yeah, thank you.
I want just to add, you can correct me if it is not true, but I also feel that if you move to the associate, it's not to move there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and come back. If you move, you continue. It's like if you become full member, you cannot come back to be associate member. So if you are associate, you cannot come back to be affiliate. So please, it is very important.
Final decision.
We have follow up some applications, and the very big thing is not really to pay every year a fee. The very challenging thing is how I take this opportunity to really have all the benefit from it. Use it, participate in it. Because you can be a member and then you are not participating. And it is now the TCs, the regional directors, to run after you, to say, come, do this, do this. No, please. You need to really, I think what you have said, that we need to set a vision, to have a plan, to secure also, of course, how you repay, because you cannot pay 1 year and then you move and you stop. And how you participate in meetings, physical meetings, online meetings, how you comment. If you have the national mirror committees, it is very important to have all these things, and also to think about the conformity assessment side. So for us, these are very important. Okay, good. Yes, we have now ARSEC.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'd like to elaborate on the word used by Eva about the engaging. I know this is not an easy practical way to, very practical too, because we are already working on a strategic marketing strategy in order to attract more members into ARSEC and to not only new members, but the current members to effectively participate in ARSEC activities. So my point of view is engaging has to be related to a concrete work. When we have first approached the power pools, for example, APOA and power pools, in order to participate with ARSEC in our activities, we worked on what we are calling the interconnection guides. So my view is to engage with a concrete outcome, not only just to come and work with us, and that's it. So if you can elaborate on this point, your view, Eva, if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And it's exactly that. It's not just a question of saying, come and work with us. What is their concern with respect to standards and conformity assessment? And can you provide a tool or a way in which that concern can be met? So maybe you have the standards, or you have a way in which they can participate in the standardization and conformity assessment, which they need. And that's why I was saying that maybe what the regulator needs is not the same as what the power utility needs. So you have to understand what each category of your stakeholder would like. And as you said, and so you know that how to concretely engage them. For example, when we talk about the power pools, they want to interconnect in the power systems. Yeah. So of course, in terms of their products in the power system, they need some conformity assessment, but they also want to have standards that will ensure that when they connect, then it is not a disaster. It's not a blackout. It's light for everyone when they connect. And so, yes, you have to know what is it that the stakeholder can benefit from this standardization. It's not just open, come and participate in standards, here conformity assessment. You have to break down these things to them. And then you have to show them how it will benefit them, I think for a long time, we have taken it for granted that people should understand what standardization is about, and people should understand what conformity assessment is about, and they should be obliged to use them, but it's all jargon to them unless you break it down. And then when you break it down, then people begin to know. We actually went to a country where we explained about the conformity assessment, and then somebody says, oh, so we are sitting on some gold and we don't know. So you must break it down. Yeah, thank you.
Eva, we have now 3 minutes left. So what we want to do now is first to give some information before I give the floor to Aristia for the conclusion of this forum. The first thing is that you have just after the forum, the regional sessions. So for the session, you have down there the rooms, the different rooms. You have the Czech Maktoum hall for the Africans, the African region. Then you have the Latin America at Edgeman BMC. And then you have the Asia and Pacific in the Edgeman A. So please, when you finish here, you have to go there. But before, when we finish the session, we have a group photo outside there. And after the group photo, we'll go for the coffee break. And when the coffee break finishes, you have to go straight to the different rooms for the regional sessions. And we want to say that we have to finish at 5, sharp at 5. So thank you so much for this. I think yes, it is okay. I have 2 minutes again. I give you 1 minute. I take 1 minute. Okay. I don't know. I wanted to share the 1 minute I have with my colleagues, regional directors. Can you say just something? Hi to. Okay, Dennis. 15 seconds.
Don't forget to join us at the session later, especially those who are attending remotely, all right? Don't forget to join us, those who are attending remotely as well.
Amori, yes, 15 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon in our breakout session for Latin American Caribbean countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette.
So thank you all for your participation, for your very interesting questions, and I'm looking forward to sharing the Eurasia and Asia breakout with Dennis. So see you after the coffee break. Thank you.
Okay, we have been honored by your presence. I see Guillaume. Yes, Guillaume, can you say something? We have we want to hear your voice.
That's so kind of you. Thank you, Francois. It's a pleasure to see so many people in the room. And I really hope that we will be able to meet again, all of us physically next year. And as usual, if you have any questions for the orders or to get the publications that my team is sending you, I'm here for you. I'll stay for the coffee break.
Thank you so much. Alistair, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you, Francois. I'll try to be brief. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today in the room and remotely. A big thank you to the speakers today. We heard very interesting case studies from Côte d'Ivoire, Uzbekistan, and Costa Rica. Francois, thank you for facilitating this meeting and for putting this exciting agenda together. Eva, for your presentation as well. My colleague Seiyun, who's here next to me, and she's running everything behind the scenes, and Corinne, who's with us from Geneva. I'd like to thank my team for all their efforts. So a brief summary, Francois, I'm sorry, 30 seconds, it's too short. Apart from the case studies, we have very interesting questions about the affiliate leader report. A big thank you also to Batsangel for joining. I know it's quite late in Mongolia. How affiliates can get support through conformity assessment. How we heard very interesting points about the importance of being engaged. Eva also gave us some life lessons there about how often we should call our family members and what happens if you want to engage more with someone. So thank you, Eva, for that. Again, I think it's important also to acknowledge the challenges that affiliate countries may face when it comes to funding. We've heard very interesting case studies today, how important it is to have government support, but also support from the private sector. Again, the importance of having regulators, power utilities around the table and keep them involved in the decision-making process in the working groups. It is also pertinent for countries to have a plan to set clear strategic objectives and priorities when it comes to how they want to be in the next few years. And again, I'd like to emphasize on the fact that the affiliate country program and my colleagues, the regional directors, we're all here to support you to work with you on your objectives and see how we can, how you can benefit the most from the program itself. So I know it's time for coffee, Francois. Sorry, I took a little bit more time, but thank you so much.
Thank you.